Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Adulting with Dion, where we try to clear some doubts about adulting. Get a drink, take a seat, and let's begin. Today, let's talk about growing up in Singapore. So I guess it's a very crucial part of adulting. In this episode, I will cover topics that revolves around growing up as a student in Singapore, mostly. Yeah, I went through like puberty, I think towards the end of primary school, when like hair starts to grow up on my body. I guess that's a sign that you're adulting, essentially, because you are growing, right? And of course, as a queer kid, I think it was more awkward for me to talk about it with anyone. Yeah. Not that I want to say it is less awkward or it is not awkward for the straight people. And like growing up, I was not the most like studious person, and I'm not the smartest kid as well. I had the PSLE score of 168. Yeah, you can tell that I did not study at all. I was just a normal student who paid enough attention in order to pass my papers. And after that, I went into the normal academic stream. I remember I qualified for the express stream for my school, Clementi Woods Secondary School. It is no longer available because they closed down. Yeah, but then my mom was like super savage about it. She just straight up told me, "You really want to go express? You might be the last in class. Like, are you okay with that?" Eventually, I just chose normal academics. Just to be safe, and I wanted to be at my level. Yeah, and then I think around secondary 3 or 2, that's when I started to hang out more with like express students. Yeah, maybe because like I was a student counselor, which is essentially like a school prefect. I was also like a prefect in primary school, but a more quiet one. Yeah, and I guess in the student counselor club, there are more express students so I like hung out more with them. Yeah, and then I was also the chairperson of the student counselor in secondary 5, but then that's like kind of lame. Did not really enjoy my time there. Did I? I guess so. I think half lah. I just like enjoy going for camps, planning camps and executing them as well. The games, the activities and all. The first ever camp that I went to was the primary 5 school camp at Outward Bound, Singapore. I think a lot of Singaporean kids like go camping for the first time like there. Yeah, I remember like it was super exciting. They came to our school to like sell merchandise such as like torchlight, sleeping bags, which I think I still have it now. Let me go and find it. Freaking crazy that I still have this thing. This is my primary 5 sleeping bag that I still have it today. This is the same one from like 17 years ago. I don't know how it's still surviving. Like, I maybe use it like once or twice a year for like my camping trips. Anyways, yeah, so that was like, I guess, my first experience of being independent, going for my first camp and stuff. I remember during the camp, there was one night where the instructors were trying to like punish those who were not sleeping, and they were just like playing a fool. He told everyone to get out of the room, made us like do physical exercise, running, jumping jacks and all those stuff. And then it was only until like one kid mentioned that he was actually woken up by the instructor and he was actually already asleep. And then that was when I was like, actually, I'm not even playing a fool. I'm not even chatting with anybody. I myself, I was like falling asleep. I was trying to fall asleep, but I just couldn't. And then I also told the instructor I was not chatting. I was trying to go to sleep, but I cannot sleep. That's when he let us go after like maybe 20 minutes of like exercising, which was damn poor thing, like damn annoying. 11 years old boy, like probably damn tired from like rock climbing and also like high elements, and I just can't fall asleep. And then now I'm forced to do PT in the middle of the night with this idiot instructor. He was like screaming when he came into the room. Like, of course I would wake up, right? And then of course I would just do whatever you were saying because you were screaming and so angry. So just went out and then just started doing PT. So yeah, that was my first camping experience. I didn't really like take studying seriously. I guess my parents also didn't have like this strict requirement or expectation of us being like A1 students. Yeah, my parents were like, just pass can already, don't need to be so stressed. And I guess they know a lot of cases of people who go crazy after studying too much. I had a neighbor that went crazy from studying too much. Yeah, I guess my parents were like kind of scared of that happening to us. So just pass can already. That was like the expectation of what my parents had. And it was only until like N levels where I took like studying like seriously. Back then we would like have study sessions after school in the library, just to prepare for like N levels. I actually bought an iPad to study. I like legit like buy the iPad just to study, and there were like no games in it at all. I think like the teachers also trust me enough for me to have an iPad in the class, not use it for games, or it's purely for studying. Yeah. And like, mind you, this was like 2013 when like iPad was just like version 4, and I had an iPad to study. Ahead of my time, I would say, ahead of my time. And then I remember I was teaching POA, Principles of Accounting, to like express students, because I just really like money, like counting money a lot, and I like love balancing the P&L, balance sheet. I like studied like really hard for like N levels. That was because I was hoping that I could go for this direct poly program. They just introduced this, I think back then it was like the first year they introduced it. It was a fast track to study in a Polytechnic, so you can start like poly earlier compared to your peers. And then when I got my N-level results, right, I was devastated, I was like traumatized, I was disgusted, I was disappointed, like all the negative emotions. Like the day didn't start off bad. Like the day when I went to collect the results, I was very happy because I know I did well, right? And I remember I was the first person to stand up when they were announcing like scholars of the cohort. I had a L1 R5 aggregate of like 11 points and an L1 R4 of 8 points. Okay, that is like freaking good. It's amazing. Like, but I couldn't go for the direct poly program. You have to fulfill a certain set of like criteria to apply for this program. So firstly, your aggregate have to be below 19. Okay, I was 10 points from like away, like higher than the requirement. Okay, anyways, so you need 5 subjects to pass to enter. So your English and your math have to be above 3, and then above B3, and the rest have to be above 5. I think something like that. And by the way, I went to check the MOE website. They changed the English and math to like C4, which is crazy. Okay, because I would have passed and go for this direct poly program, but whatever. Anyways, and yeah, so my English was C4. That means that I have A1 for math, POA, D&T, design and technology, and my combined sciences, which is chemistry and physics. I have A1s for 4 subjects. I only have C4 for English. That makes 8 points, but I couldn't go for this direct poly program because my English was not good enough. And then I only realized that I cannot go for this program because my friend came back with a letter. So when we were collecting the certificate, so I was like super happy I got my results, and then just sitting there waiting for my friends to get their results too. Then this friend came over, she sat down, she was like, "Where's your letter?" Because she had a letter. she was like 15 points or something like that. Then I was like, oh my god, what? I was like, what's that? What letter? Then she said, the DPP letter. Then I was like, no, I don't have the letter. So I thought it was a mistake, right? So I went to the teacher, and then the teacher explained to me, oh, you are not qualified for the program because your English is a C4. Are you kidding me? I was so sad. I was so sad. Like, to know that I have to stay in this hellhole for another year. Like, I just want to say, my school is not the best school. In fact, it is the worst school in the Clementi area. It is closed down, like I mentioned. Nobody wants to go there. It is just not a good school. I didn't want to stay there for one more year, but I had to because I didn't pass my English. So I eventually completed secondary 5. I went to, I did my O-levels, and then my results were not that bad too. Yeah, I won R4 of 11 points. But my English my English was still bad. It was C5. I want to check my Sing pass. It was C5. But luckily my Chinese was B3. So, you know, L1, R4 can use Chinese. Yeah. So like, you know, after studying quite hard for 2 years, I decided that I'm not going to study so hard anymore in Polytechnic, and I'm going to go for Polytechnic, so I'm not going to go for JC. I want to like enjoy life. So I went to Polytechnic. I wanted to go to Ngee Poly so bad because I went to their Red Camp. Red Camp is just for students who just graduated or they're coming in from higher NITEC or NITEC and to experience Ngee Poly and to give them an idea of how poly life is like. Yeah, I guess. And I really enjoy it. Yeah, but I didn't get in. Yeah, I wanted to go in so bad, right, that out of 10 placements, I think 9 of it I put Ngee Poly business courses, like everything. But then I really wanted tourism and resort management, so I put that for the first one for Ngee, and then for second one I put tourism and resort management for Singapore Poly. I don't know why did I do that, because I actually got the second choice, which is not what I wanted, but also what I wanted also lah. Just to let you know, like DTRM, you know, Diploma in Tourism and Resort Management, it is a difficult course to get in. Like, it was a difficult course to get in. Like for Ngee, it was a cutoff point of 10 points, and then for SP it was 12 points. Actually, yeah, now I think of it, my aggregate is only 11 points. Why would I go in? But I have my CCCA, so but no regrets. Okay, no regrets going SP for DTRM. I went overseas every year, like once per year, either with the course or with the school. It was very fun. But sadly, DTRM is no longer available in Singapore Poly. They closed it down because I'm not sure if it's not popular or it is too expensive. And I think that Poly is where most students are growing up. Like, you know, they are like going for gyms, they are going on dates, they have relationships, exploring the adult world as a young adult. But for me, I was just enjoying myself. Like, as I mentioned in my coming out episode, like my being queer episode, I was just being myself. You know, I just enjoy studying. Not much of a CCA person. I was in the School of Business Ambassador, SBA. Is a CCA. So we basically facilitate like freshie camps or do open houses and things like that. Yeah, I really like being a facilitator. It's like bringing the kids around the school, you know, talking to them and introducing them to the courses available. And in Poly was also when I started vlogging. Yeah, most of my videos are like privated now. So if you... But let me just put a few clips here, okay? You can watch this. For those of you who are listening on Spotify, you might want to switch to video on your phone. I promise it's gonna be worth it. And unless you're driving, then you can watch it later, okay? Here are the clips.
It is over! Year 2 is over. So happy.
crazy. Okay, let's go. We're going to take some photos. Okay, we are here. Everybody is here. So freaking hot. Yay, graduate. Yes, I was a little bit chubby back then, but I had the confidence of a model. Okay, I remember I bought a GoPro back then so that I can record all these moments, whatever is happening in school, in camps, or in life in general. No regrets. You know, the GoPro gave me a lot of confidence and a lot of courage to do things. Yeah, I also learned how to edit video from there, and actually till today, right, I still keep all my footage in my hard disk so I can like go back and watch it if I want to reminisce the old times, or you know, just memories. And just FYI, there are also like people who are popular now, like influencers, who are in my videos. They look very different from like when they were studying. Just saying, but I'm not gonna release it lah. Okay, that's all about my academic life. Okay, but that's not all for today. Let's talk about when I start working. Yeah, let's continue to talk about when I'm working while I was studying. When I was 15 years old, yeah, my first job was to be a barista at a Starbucks near my school, which is West Coast Plaza. I was a very loyal customer there actually. I was studying almost every single day after school in the cafe. And then when I finished my exam, I went there to work. Yeah, because I was quite close with the staff there and I just wanted to earn like extra income, I guess. That was also when I first saw like 4 digits in my bank. Not 4 digits, but like when I first saw like my bank go over $2,000. And I work almost every day, like a full-time staff, but like on a part-time basis. I don't know how that works, but I was working almost every day. And that's also how I can afford like my iPad when I was studying. And that's when I also started to pay for like my own things, you know, iPad, phone, like big ticket items. Yeah, I would say like the West Coast Plaza branch was not bad. The work was kind of chill, the traffic was not crazy during peak hours. Yeah, but Jurong Point, oh my god, Jurong Point. I was sent to Jurong Point for training for 2 weeks, and it was so bad. The peak hour was crazy. The queue was insane. I had the worst experience there. I had the worst like seniors and staff. They were not helpful at all in guiding me. I remember there was this part-time guy that was so short-tempered and like impatient. I couldn't find the sugar syrup, so I asked him where is it, and then he just replied, "Are you sure? You sure you never find? Are you sure you cannot find?" So I was like, "Oh no, yeah, I cannot find it." So this fella, right, he eventually found it at the back of the cabinet, or like hidden at the back up, and then he took it out. Then he just threw it at the sink. Then he said something like, "Walao, what's this?" Then I was like, "Oh, sorry." But it's like it's so unnecessarily. Why? It's literally like my first week here or like my second day here. Why do you need to be so angry? Like I cannot find it because I don't know where are things kept. Anyways, yeah. But other than that, my experience at Starbucks was great. But we know we are boycotting that. So my second part-time job was at TOPMAN under Wing Tai as a fashion coordinator. It's a fancy word for like a part-time staff. Yeah, you're just their salesperson lah, huh? I really like their clothes a lot, so I thought of working for them, and then you know you can get discounts and also earn money as well. The location was not bad. It was at Jam, and I think it was a relatively new shop, so I wanted to work there as well. The work there was alright. The people were okay too, but they were not as friendly as Starbucks and not close knitted, I say. Like there was like this weird competition with Topshop. So I don't know why, but Topshop and TOPMAN are like separate entities. So Topshop is for the ladies and then TOPMAN is for the men, right? The employees like don't work together. They are like separate groups that share the same back room and like pantry and stuff. Like the full-time staff and the managers will be like talking bad about each other. But whatever, it's just weird to me. Yeah. I met a few nice people there. I remember when I left the job, I wanted to go back after I started poly, because for the money, and like I thought that I can study and work at the same time, but I couldn't. Like I went back again for I think 1 or 2 weeks, and then I left. And then I guess it was also because the staff were different, and then I didn't want to make new friends, I think. Yeah. My third job was an internship with Singapore Zoo. Yeah, I did a 6 months internship with Singapore Zoo. It was assigned by my school, so it was either Changi Jet Key, the CIP terminal, the commercially important terminal, or Singapore Zoo. So eventually I got chosen for Singapore Zoo, so I went for it. Firstly, it was so ulu. It takes around 1.5 hours for me to get there. There's nothing around at all. The food is catered, so that's like plus point. The pay was not bad as well. I think it was 850. I think pretty good for like a internship paying back then. But I loved the job. The job was very fun. We get to like rotate roles from like month to month. So I did like entrance staff, ticketing, membership, park ranger, tram ticketing. I did taxi. Taxi is the worst because of the taxi uncles. They're the worst people in Singapore ever. Okay. We did renting booth as well, where we rent out trams and prams and strollers and stuff. And no, we don't take care of the animals. Okay, we are not trained to do so, and we're not allowed to go into the enclosures. Okay, whenever I tell people that I did an internship in the zoo, they'll ask me which animal that I take care of. I did not take care of any animals. Okay, it's not. I take care of humans, a different type of animals, the worst type of animal. My favorite would be park ranger. Is where you walk around the park and then you facilitate like animal feedings. So mainly giraffe and hippopotamus. And then you just walk around the park, answer any questions that the customers have, or help anybody if they need help. And you can actually take the tram to go around to places and go to the feedings like faster. So that's my favorite job. Yeah. The taxi stand job is the worst. So sometimes you get like allocated the taxi stand. This is after the park like closes. Taxi queue will be like super long. The first few taxis will be like the expensive one, like the black color one, or just the expensive one lah. Then nobody will want to take it because they know that it's crazy expensive. Just taking the taxi doesn't make sense. And then the taxi uncle will also like get angry, also like start to shout at us. And also the customers also will start to shout at us, asking why we cannot like chase them away. Nobody wants to take them. What are they here for? So like it is not fun. They are always more cranky and more angry at the taxi stand compared to any part of the park. The renting booth is quite fun as well because your job is just standing there waiting for people to come and like rent out stuff. Strollers, prams, push carts, or they can deposit bags as well. Yeah, it's quite fun. Then you just wait for them to come back. So like zoo essentially taught me a lot of things, from EQ, managing people, customer service. It was quite fun, yeah. And also I work with like animals. I mean, animal humans and animals, it's quite fun. I did gain weight during my time there because the food is free, and also the panda bao is amazing. Yeah, I was always snacking. I would get like KFC, I would get like popcorn chicken from KFC and then bring it to the tram station to sell tickets. It was quite fun. A little story time. There was another student from another school that was also doing internship. He was selling tram tickets at the tram station, so we will be stationed individually at the tram station. In case people want to buy tram tickets inside the park, they can get it. We can just have to tag them a little token and they can take the tram. So this person decided to steal like $5 from his pool of money. I don't know for what, for the thrill of it, because $5 honestly isn't worth that much. But he got caught. Yeah, so he got expelled. I don't know if he got expelled from school, but he got fired from his job, his internship. It's just very drama and it's not worth it. What else about the zoo? You get to see a lot of celebrities. Yeah, I've seen a few celebrities, which I cannot remember the name now. I've seen like singers, like Chinese singers, Taiwanese singers, Mediacorp artists as well. They like to go there. Overall, it's pretty fun, but then there are also politics with the full-time staff, which can be quite annoying, but nothing to do with me. So like, yeah, whatever. And after that, I went back to school for poly. I think for half a year. Then national service came. Yeah. So for national service, I'll talk more about it in the next episode. Yeah, that will be pretty fun, I think. I haven't planned it yet, but we shall see. After NS, I did do a temporary job, events job, selling printers for Canon at the expo event. I think it was like a 3-day event. It was quite fun because I got to work with my NS friends. But the pay wasn't the best. But I guess temporary job, I think is good enough, you know, if you have the time to do it. It's just that people come and ask you the technical questions, but you're not an expert. You're just there to sell printers. But I think with printers also, it's not very technical. You just want to buy it, and then there are different budgets and stuff, right? So if you don't have the budget, don't get this, get the other one. And I remember very clearly because there was a printer that printed out photos. So oh my god, the final day I printed out so many photos, and then they were like, I was like, oh my god, you guys want to see sample? I can print it out for you. Then I'll print out my own photo. Then I'll show them like, yeah, nice. Let me see. Amazing. And also, I think the last day, there were like a lot of papers that they were giving out for free because these are just free gift for people who buy stuff, and then they'll get free paper, like A4 size paper. At the end of the day, right, they just leave it there. I mean, the company, they didn't come and take it, so I took it. Allegedly, but it's like 10 years ago, whatever. Anyways, that's all for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you didn't learn anything from today's episode, I hope you at least enjoy my little stories. Yeah. In the next episode, like I mentioned, I will be talking about my national service days. Okay, how I became an officer. Yeah. And if you are watching this on YouTube, please do help me like, share, and subscribe. Let me know if you have any questions or tips for working part-time job, full-time job, temporary jobs. If you are on Spotify, please help me rate 5-star if you haven't already done so. And I will see you next week, Wednesday at 8 p.m. Thank you so much. Goodbye. Bye. Bye. I have a job interview tomorrow. I hope it's good.
Are you making a video?
Yes.
This is a super hot X-Force chair.
What chair?
Not anymore, I step down, you're not updated. Follow me on Instagram and fake like all my posts.
Okay, link is in the description. I'll link it in the video.
Oh, good.